Namaste. This is Dr. Ashwini Kare from India. I am presenting my paper on effect of pelvic floor exercises on pelvic floor muscle strength and posterior uretrovesical angle in the puerperal period. My disclosure form. The puerperal period is a very crucial period in the life of a new mother. The body usually returns to the pre-pregnancy state by 6 to 8 weeks. However, complete recovery may not be achievable. Any activities which lead to the increase in intra-abdominal pressure may lead to postnatal complications like stress urinary incontinence, pelvic floor weakness, low back pain, and even prolapse in the later life. Pelvic floor muscle strengthening has been widely used to treat people with urinary incontinence. However, its effect on bladder neck position is not extensively studied. Studies of pelvic floor rehabilitation in the puerperal period is also limited. Moreover, strong cultural beliefs and postpartum traditions in India are a barrier to postpartum physical therapy. The posterior uretrovesical angle, which is also referred to as the retrovesical angle or the beta angle, is a parameter that is assessed by transperineal ultrasound. The measurement taken is the angle between the proximal urethra and the posterior vesical wall. The angle has been related to the functional integrity of both the proximal urethral supports and suggests a significant role in maintaining female continence. It has been considered as an important investigational tool for objective documentation of anatomical and functional parameters of the pelvic floor. Aim of our study was to study the effect of pelvic floor exercises on pelvic floor muscle strength and posterior uretrovesical angle in the puerperal period. The study started after ethical clearance from the Institutional Research Committee. The trial was registered in the Clinical Trial Registry of India. It was a single group pre-test post-test experimental study design. The study setting was in MGM Medical College and Hospital in Aurangabad, India. Study population comprised of postnatal primiparous women. Convenient sampling was taken place and a sample size of 142 women were taken. We included primiparous women irrespective of their mode of delivery, whether vaginal or C-section, both were taken. The age group was kept from 20 to 35 years of age. Exclusion of mothers with any history of major abdominopelvic surgery except for C-section or episiotomy were taken. Mothers with less than 1 week puerperal status and before getting discharged from the hospital were included. Exclusively, those who gave consent to attend postnatal physiotherapy clinic for follow-up at the 6th and 12th week were taken in consideration. Those who were medically unfit to travel long distances during follow-up were excluded from the study. 142 postnatal primiparous women, after consenting for the study, a detailed history was taken by a trained physiotherapist. Assessment in the 6th week of postpartum period was done by pelvic floor muscle strength examined using the modified Oxford scale. Retrovesical angle was measured by a radiologist who specialized in urogynecological diagnostic imaging. The measurement was taken at rest, maximum pelvic contraction, and on Vasalva on the ultrasound imaging. The participants were taught pelvic floor exercises along with breathing exercises. Lumbopelvic stability exercises were taught as well. Counseling was emphasized on the special do's and don'ts, with special emphasis on the ill effects of increase in intra-abdominal pressure. The dosimetry of the pelvic floor exercises were given subjectively and individual need-based. The reassessment was done on the 12th week postpartum. Pelvic floor muscle strength and retrovesical angle was measured by the same therapist and the radiologist. As we can see, the retrovesical angle was taken at rest, on maximum pelvic floor contraction, and on Vasalva. On comparison of the mean difference of pelvic floor muscle strength at pre-test and post-test by using paired t-test showed significant difference. The comparison of the mean difference of beta angle on rest and maximum pelvic contraction at pre-test and post-test also showed a significant difference. However, on comparison of the mean difference of beta angle on rest and Vasalva at pre-test and post-test showed no significant difference. The results showed a significant improvement in the post-test on both modified Oxford scale as well as posterior uretrovesical angle during maximum contraction. However, a negative impact of increased intra-abdominal pressure was found on the comparison of the mean difference of the beta angle at rest when tested with Vasalva. We can see a significant difference a significant mean difference in the pre-test and post-test. At 6 weeks and 12 weeks, we can see the significant difference on pelvic floor muscle strength. On comparison of mean difference of the beta angle on rest and maximum pelvic contraction, also significant, but however on rest and Valsalva we can see it is non-significant. We can see the significant difference on pre-test and post-test on rest and maximum pelvic contraction, whereas we can see a non-significant difference on rest and Valsalva. The results showed a significant increase in the pelvic floor muscle irrespective of the mode of delivery. The initiation of postpartum physical therapy immediately after childbirth thus benefits the mother in restoration and prevention of further dysfunctions which are associated following childbirth. Negative impact of the increased intra-abdominal pressure which was found on the beta angle when tested with Valsalva suggested sustained affection of the stability or stiffness of the non-contractile tissue of the pelvic floor. This suggests the need for the further extension of the program more than 12 weeks of what we have taken. We conclude pelvic floor exercises proved beneficial in improving strength of the pelvic floor muscles in the puerperal period as measured by modified Oxford scale and posterior uretrovesical angle. These were the references I used.